Hey friends, Pastor Michael from Organic Church. We're excited for another season of growing together. We'd love to have you join us on Sunday mornings at 10 or Wednesday evenings at 7 for friends, family, and a whole lot of Jesus.
Okay. Hello.
Now she's got her headphones on. She can't put her glasses on. She can't see
I
her
can't.
phone.
I can't see my phone. I can't.
Her glasses are like match her Bible to a T. Did you do that on purpose?
No, these are Dollar Tree special.
Oh my goodness.
They're laying all over my house in case I can't find them.
Yep. We're on.
Well,
Well, how's everybody's week?
oh, lovely.
Lovely.
Lovely. Yeah. I actually got to mow almost all my yard.
Today or all week?
Well, yesterday. It seemed like it only took me like 4 hours. And I didn't even trim. And I didn't even mow it all. Of course, I haven't mowed for, I don't know, like back in July.
I was going to say
like
2
that.
months.
For a while there, I mean, nobody needed them.
I
I mean,
know.
everything was dead.
You sure
And then we
you
got that
wasn't
few rain
cutting
showers, and
hay?
everything just came right back.
Do what?
You sure you weren't cutting hay?
Well, I was going to take and call, what's his name? Mr. Edwards.
Edward Scissorhands?
No.
Well, you went like this.
I was trying to collect
Oh.
my fingers. I can't do that either. Call him, see if he wanted to make hay. But yeah, because I went through a whole tank of gas. Usually I can mow my whole yard and still have gas left over. Not much, but a little bit. And I ran out. And I didn't have any more with me at home. So
So you had to finish, whether you like it to.
that's tomorrow's agenda. Yeah.
Well, I took my grandma to see Brandon Lake.
Did she have a good time?
Yes, it was so fun. It was, I mean, he puts on a good show. Like, it's obviously, you know, what we listen to and hear a lot, and times 10. And
Yeah.
and she's not used to, like, and honestly, I don't think I've ever been to a concert where they have like the wristbands and then they'll just randomly blink different colors, like you know. And okay, so Mallory and her boyfriend, they had bought their tickets, oh gosh, back in last year, I think. And then back in June, she asked me if I would want to buy some tickets, you know, for my grandma's birthday. I'm like, yeah, and, you know, we could split it. So they took us to our seats and then they left because they were like on level 1 or something. We were level 3. And whenever she sat down, she was like, hey, did you guys get like little wristlets? And I'm like, no. And she's like, oh, you should see if you can get some. So I went out and was looking and I found someone who had one on. I'm like, hey, where did you get this? And she's like, well, where we came in at, you know, we got those. I'm like, oh man. But, you know, as soon as, I don't know, it might've been the first song or something. And then all of a sudden the stadium goes black or the arena goes black and all these lights just start like fluorescent. And obviously when people have their hands up worshiping, you can see the lights.
how
And
awesome.
it was
I've
really
seen
neat.
that.
Yeah, it was so neat. And then there was one towards the end of the night. He was, you know, asking if anyone had rededicated their lives or, you know, been saved for the first time that night. And all of the hands that had the bracelets on, like there were a lot, but I'm sure there was obviously more that people that didn't have bracelets like I did that were also had their hands up. So there was a lot. I mean, hundreds, I would say, that, you know, held their hand up. So it was really neat though. I mean,
Where was that at?
the Schottenstein Center in Columbus. Yeah.
So grandma likes it, huh?
Yeah. And we got me and her stayed in a hotel, so it was fun, except we couldn't sleep well. And honestly, I never realized it, but hotel rooms are apparently more dry. Did you know that? Because the cold air, like it's always set at a low temperature. And she woke up in the middle of the night and then I woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't really fall back asleep. And she's like, man, my mouth is just so dry. I'm like, well, my nose is dry, you know? And I looked it up and sure enough, it's a hotel thing. So, but yeah, we did that. And then we stopped like at Shoemaker Foods in West Lafayette on the way home. Cause she went to a wedding. Was it the day before that? Yeah, day before that, she went to a wedding and they had that catered there. And she's like, "Oh, that the barbecue sauce was to die for." So we stopped there and got some. So it was a good weekend.
Good.
Yeah.
You got to take your own pillow to the hotel.
See, I love the sheets and pillows at hotel room. I don't know.
I hate the pillows.
Oh, I don't know. I
don't bring my own pillow.
Yeah.
Can't sleep.
Done deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm kind of the opposite, and I don't know why.
Well, sometimes they give you like 8 pillows.
They do.
And not a one of them is the right,
Yeah.
firmness or
They're-
size.
Seems
Yeah.
like they're all kind of the same
Yeah.
consistency or
Yeah.
whatever.
If you try to double them up, it just doesn't work. Yeah.
Beth, you got anything?
I do not.
No.
It's been a busy week.
Yeah. Actually,
And it's
It's been a busy year. I was just thinking
Yeah,
about that
it
today. This
has.
has probably been the busiest year of my life.
I think.
I think so. I just
Yeah.
think back to beginning of the year and everything that's happened and everything that we've tried to accomplish, and
Yeah.
of course everything else that life throws in there while you're trying to, as
Do a little
John Lennon
more.
says, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Yeah. Yep. That's so
How it's
true.
been. It's just, yeah. I think the last time I've like sat down and watched TV was like back in July. I might have watched a Reds game or something. But yeah, I haven't even like sat down to watch TV, which might not be a bad thing, but just
Yeah.
I haven't sat still very long.
Well, how long have you been putting the not Christmas lights, the Halloween lights up?
Well, generally I start that Labor Day weekend, and
Okay.
it takes me till the 1st of October. So yeah, 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm busy doing that. And then, of course, in 2.5 weeks, everything will come down. I'll be getting ready for Christmas. And that'll be all through November until hopefully I always try to have it all done by Thanksgiving night. That's usually the
Okay.
first time I light it all up. So that's the goal. But yeah, and it gets bigger every year.
Whose fault's that?
It's mine.
Okay.
Because, everybody enjoys it so much. But now I feel the expectation. And of course, I want to keep
Sure.
people coming back. So it's
Well,
like,
yeah.
I got to have something new for them. It can't be the same old, same old.
Yeah.
And then you start going to Lowe's and Home Depot. And before you know it, you're in trouble. Because you're like, we're not going to buy anything this year. And then there's always something. It's like, we got to have that.
It's new. It's new.
Yeah, new and improved.
But then once you get it home, you're like, where am I going to put this?
Listen, we were on our way back from Columbus, and we took Trenton Avenue just to go to my house, and we passed, somewhat past your house, and I was like, "Oh, geez, Nick," because you've got those huge blow up things. Like, how tall are those
Those
things?
are 20 foot.
Oh my god!
So there's 3 of them at 20 foot. And of course, that's in the neighbor's yard, mind you.
That's what
So
I thought. That's
we've
what I thought.
Moved on to her
Yeah,
yard now.
yeah.
Which she likes it. She enjoys it. So she's like, yeah, go ahead. Use as much of the yard as you want. Which was probably the worst thing she could have said to
Oh,
me. because,
yeah.
Yeah, green light, go.
No, I was telling my grandma, I'm like, yeah, he, I think she might have said something about adding every year or something. And I'm like, yeah. Not like my dad. My dad, he never used to put out Christmas lights, but now he's started, but it's literally, he'll buy like 1 strand a year. He's like, oh, I'm going to add another strand to go, around the gutters. I'm like, well, Nick's going like, I'm going to get, yeah, sure. He might do 1 thing a year, but your 1 thing a year was 20 feet.
Yeah, 20 feet high.
20 feet high.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the one this year was it's a skeleton, and we saw him at Lowe's. He's 20 foot, and he's waving. I said, I got to have that for the end of the display because he's waving to everybody goodbye. Like,
Yeah.
see you again.
Yeah.
So I got to have it.
Does he actually move?
Well, when the wind blows, then his little hand will go.
Oh.
So it really does look like he's waving.
Oh, is it a blow up?
It's a big blow up,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, I thought maybe it was one of them
No,
solid boned.
right.
Amazon.
We have one of those.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I think you need a whole family of them.
Yeah, some people, there's a place over here in Denison, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's all skeletons. And it's crazy how many they have. And it
Really?
gets bigger every year. They keep adding more.
Are they
to it.
blow ups?
No, they're like
Oh.
he's talking about,
Oh,
the
like
hard
the-
body, posable.
There was a house in West Lafayette when we stopped at that store that was like that, and it was like in a carriage. There was one in like a horse and buggy carriage.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, that's neat.
Your page is flipping. I'm flipping too.
Yeah, you're flipping.
I'm trying to find. There it is. All right, Nick, do you want?
Yeah,
to...
so we're going to talk about putting Christ in crisis. So let me ask a question. So when you think of the word crisis, well, in your mind, what's a crisis to you? Because obviously I think there's different levels of crisis. What might be crisis to you?
Could be something.
I might look and go, that's not really that.
Yeah,
Right.
not really that
What
big
you
of a
getting so
deal.
excited about?
Right. I feel like it's almost like life altering, or like almost makes you, I don't know, like makes your life harder for a, I don't know, good amount of time, a couple months or something, or just stops you in your tracks. Like, I mean, I don't think a crisis is, going to McDonald's and they put onions on my Big Mac and I said no onions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely not a crisis.
Yeah, but that's a crisis to someone.
That's what
It
I'm
is.
saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes,
So-
to somebody that could completely ruin their day.
Yeah.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
totally,
Set off a
totally
chain of events that they can't control.
Yeah.
all over onions.
And then again, there's people who they can lose their job
Yeah,
and they might go, oh, well, I'll find another one.
Yeah. And be
And there
fine
could be
with
somebody else that just that's going to
it. This
just
is- yeah.
destroy their whole
right.
Yeah.
world.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if I lost my job like unexpectedly, yeah, I'd probably consider that a crisis.
That could cause a crisis. Yeah.
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 But some people that don't have a good work ethic or don't care for
Vacation.
yeah, or I don't know, don't care about certain things, or just take advantage of the systems, like they're just gonna be like, oh, there's some free unemployment, and then you get denied, and now what?
Yeah.
Like,
Then it's a crisis.
yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. What's a crisis to you, Beth?
Something that can't be fixed. I mean, a loss of a loved one
Can't be fixed with money.
can't be fixed with money. That's Jarvis' thing.
Yeah.
It's not a problem if money can fix it.
Yeah. 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 Sometimes for me, a crisis can just feel like, something that's happened unexpectedly, but also it's something that has to be resolved quickly.
Yeah.
So you didn't see it coming, but now you have the responsibility. You have to handle it, and you have to handle it quickly.
Yes. Like you don't have time to
Yeah. You don't-
meditate and think and
like
ask
you
for
have
prayer.
to. You have to come up with an answer right now, and you have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because you got a lot right. Either it's in your job or something personal. Everybody's looking to you to solve it. Sometimes you're on your own with those things.
Oh yeah.
Like it's whatever the crisis is, it's been put on you, and you got to be the one to figure it out. And people have expectations. So, and you don't want to let anybody down. For me, it's like, I never want to look like I failed. So that can feel like a crisis.
And whether someone wants to admit it or not, that they have expectations on you, you can feel it and it. Like they can say, "Oh, I wasn't expecting you to, do that or find a new job right away." Or you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you don't have to say it, but like, I know your demeanor.
Well, and it can be like people can have all the faith in you in the world, but they still are like, "Oh man, are you going to get it done? Are you gonna, are you gonna come up with an answer for this?" So even though you might have solved a crisis 100 times, each crisis is like, it's brand new. Like people are looking to you again to see, like, okay, can you fix this one too? Is he going to do it again?
It's funny that you're bringing this up because I was kind of talking to my therapist about. I know I was fully talking to my therapist about this the other day. Because it's like, I have such an attitude about stuff that like, okay, whatever, I'll do it. Like, to where now I think there's certain people that might be using that against me, or not even using it against me, but like, it's if something's
Taking advantage?
Yes, taking advantage. Like if something's not a big deal for me, I don't care. But
rather than give it to somebody who doesn't have a full plate, who may have the time to do it, they're still going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Even though you might be juggling these 5 other things.
Exactly.
They're
Just
like,
because I
still want
haven't
to give it to Sid because
Sid's done it before and she has an attitude, and it's like it's not even work related. Like it's just like a relationship I have with someone, and I'm like, man, I never really realized that. So it's like I have to kind of set boundaries. I can even set those boundaries in a playful way, but I need to set those boundaries that way I'm not getting offended myself or upset. And it's like, I don't know, just it was eye-opening, and it was kind of crazy that you said that. So
Yeah. Well, that's how I feel a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's just like, yep. If somebody gives me a responsibility, then I'm like, oh, it's my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll do
Even
it.
though I had no desire or intention to do it.
Yes.
It's like once it's been placed on me, it's like, well, I guess it's
I gotta
mine
get
now.
it done because I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to fail.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when I first started working, and this is what drives me crazy about a lot of young kids. And when I first started working, one of my main motivations was I never wanted anybody to say that I couldn't do something or that I wasn't capable or that I was, afraid to do it or just wasn't, just that I failed. I didn't want anybody to say, well, yep,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times with these young kids, they're like, I don't think they care. Like,
Yeah.
I watch a lot of young people who work with me, and it's like they couldn't care less if somebody has something negative to say about their work ethic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just can't.
Yeah, I can't comprehend that.
Understand that.
Yeah, especially because, like, if someone doesn't have anything bad to say about my work ethic, and particularly maybe they have good things to say about my work ethic, that only means that it's only up from there. And, maybe I'll get a raise and then or a promotion and then a raise and so on and so forth. Like, that's just my way of thinking, not... I don't know, not like, oh, I don't care what this person thinks. Because, sometimes I wish I had that mentality of I don't care what this person thinks. But when it comes into the workplace, like...
I've even tried it because there's certain things that I know are not particularly my job. Mm-hmm. Like if you look at my job description, what's been written out for me, what I've been hired to do, there are certain things that I go out of bounds to do, not only to help the company, but also because I know in the end, it's all coming back to me anyway. So if I don't do it, it's probably going to make my end of things harder.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times it's like, I'll go above and beyond. But, there's times when I've been frustrated and be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
If they don't appreciate it or if they're not willing to work with me also, then I'm just not going to do that anymore. And I'll sit back.
Yes, but you have pride in what you
And
do.
then you'll see the fire starting, and no one's
like already
taking it
nervous.
out. Yeah.
I'm anxious. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm not capable of just saying, hey, let them figure it out. Hey, let the house fall down on them. I don't care.
Yep.
I can't do it. It's not how I'm built. So it can make anxiety and crisis, elevate
Yes.
sometimes to a point where I'm putting more on myself than perhaps other people are. Like I expect more out of myself than anybody else would.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to say I fall into crisis more, but maybe I do.
Or trip into it.
Trip into it.
Yeah, like you're still kind of being careful, but then it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think when it's work related, we all have our work ethic and we know what we want done and how we want it done. And then when we have good work ethic, people expect that out of us all the
Right.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, that they're not going to do it. It's just going to mess up my day if it's not done. So I'll just step in and do it. And then they just become dependent.
Yeah, and I think, he'll do it again.
He'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And sometimes you think, eventually, I'm going to be a good example, and somebody's going to catch on and see, well, this is what he does, so I'm going to do that too. That rarely happens, if ever.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think that way. Like, well, eventually, these younger kids, they'll look up to me. They'll be like, hey, he's got the right idea.
Yeah, but then there's some that you're like, okay, they've been here for 4 years and they still haven't seen any progress.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they have not advanced at all.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating because then yes, you do have to take on more crisis than anybody else.
Yep.
So a big thing for me is just, no matter what I'm doing, I'm trying to find Jesus in it. Or
showing Jesus in it.
Showing Jesus in it, and instead of focusing on, oh, I got to do this for this human being or for this company. Or for this, earthly reason. Mm-hmm. The only thing that I really should be doing it for is for the glory of God.
Yes.
And that helps me a lot. Just, because there's just a lot of people who are like, don't do that. Don't, they're just, a lot of people would discourage you to handle a problem. or take on something. And sometimes it's very easy then to take that in and say, yep, they're right. You know, I'm just going to sit back too and not give 100%. But when I look at it through that lens, through, well, what is God going to think of my effort? Mm-hmm. And if I'm giving it all my effort to Him, to glorify Him, then whatever I'm doing, it makes that crisis, it gives it meaning, I suppose. And it gives me a sense of,
peace
and pride, and that I can do this through Christ, and I'm not doing it for any other reason. So that's how I tackle a lot of. That's how I tackle a lot of mundane things that this is, raising my hand, being honest. There's just a lot of things I don't want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
There's just a lot of things you have to do on a daily basis. And I'm like, I just really don't want to do this.
And I mean, I think that's our flesh in us, or even just, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think we're all like that more times than not. Even whenever we don't want to be, like you said, like we're trying to give it all to Him and the glory to God. But yeah, I mean, it's easier said than done.
Yep.
I was kind of looking at it when you brought up this subject about putting Christ in crisis, about like the world right now. And it just seems like how there's kind of revivals going right now, or hopefully, and I don't know. That's kind of where my mind went whenever you were bringing it up. Just even like, Charlie Kirk, like I feel like with that, that kind of sparked something, and I don't know. But then it sparked something, but then it kind of died down, like you said last week. So,
yep, and that's that's the basic, understanding we all have to have is passions, rise when something like this happens. But eventually, we all have to go back to living our lives.
Yeah, emotions
and getting back down to business, and that's when you're really truly sorting out who you are with God.
Yes.
Is because you can't hang on to that moment or that passion forever. You just that's, to me, that's not healthy. You can't be on fire in that sense all the time.
Yeah.
Because most of the time that means, to me, that tells me like you're either angry or consumed, and you don't know how to find the peace in the things that have happened in the world in reality. And then you really do have to sort out where you are with God for everything that's happened. Like, I think you can read through everything that's happened with that. I think you can read where people are with the Lord.
Yes, I agree.
Because a lot of people mean well when they're angry.
Yes, compassionate.
They mean well. They're I mean, clearly 100% they're behind God.
Yeah.
They're on that side. But you could tell there's a lot of things perhaps they haven't figured out yet, like anger. Like they haven't learned to control their anger, and they think that's a way to solve things, is to attack the other side. And they're going to, that's the way that they're going to go about this. Until they grow more with the Lord and really get more in the Word and figure out that, okay, anger is not one of the Lord's weapons. It's not one of, it's not, that's not in our, as we talked about before when we talked about our tool belt, that's not in it. That's not going to help us grow, and it's not going to help us grow our relationship with Him. So, people have to, eventually you do have to sit back after something like this and be like, okay, I need to really sit back and say, okay, what have I learned from this? And where do I need to improve?
Yeah.
And that's obviously not what our subject tonight, but I think if you do that, then you might not be in so much crisis all the time.
Yes.
Because I think we can create our own crisis.
Yeah.
And
Like if you're constantly going to him in prayer, or even just having that dialogue,
or just
with
having an
him.
understanding in the moment that, you know, you have to trust God.
Mm-hmm.
You have to trust God with the moment. You can't try to control it all yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you can't try to throw anger at somebody and think that's going to, most of the time, you know, that's not the way we're going to bring people to our side.
Mm-mm.
You know, and that's what we should be interested in bringing about. Mm-hmm. Not trying to drive them farther away from us because of who they are or they don't quite agree with us. Mm-hmm. No, we should still be trying to find a way to bring them closer to us so we can get them to the other side.
Yeah,
that's
like
the goal.
Like Jason DeFord. Do you know who that is?
No.
That's Jelly Roll.
No.
Okay, but he said they've heard of Jesus. Now you need to show them Jesus, you know? And
everybody's heard of Jesus.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's a stranger to nobody.
No.
But do they know him?
Exactly.
No. Very few people. Very few people do. And I really got into Exodus. And of course, we all know the story of, you know, Moses and parting the Red Sea. And of course, you know, just people were full of doubt. Mm-hmm. You know, no matter how far he took them and how many miracles, you know, God was willing to show them and how many trials he had got them through, they get to that point, you know, where the Egyptians are on their heels. Mm-hmm. And of course, what do? They start complaining again and doubting the Lord and doubting Moses and thinking, is this why you brought us all the way out here? You should have just left us back there so they could kill us all. That would have been easier than what you're putting us through now. And so if you're looking at it from God's perspective, it's always like, how many more times can I show you?
Yeah.
You know, that if you have faith in me. No, you're still going to, I never told you your trials were going to come to an end. Mm-mm. But what I have tried to show you is when you do have trial, when you are in crisis, I'm going to be here.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you allow me to, if you make me part of it, if you have faith in me, then I'll lead the way. I'll show you the way. Even if it meant, you know, parting of the sea. Mm-hmm. You know, we'll get it done. Even take something miraculous. If you truly believe in me, if you have total faith in me and willing to trust me.
Yeah. Then
your crisis will not be in vain. It won't be something you just have to go through and all you experience is pain and loss and confusion. No, you will come out of it.
Yeah.
You know, a better person. You'll come out of it with more knowledge, more wisdom, more discernment.
I have something to say about I have 1 Thessalonians 5:18 that I've, you know, was on the topic or just on my mind for this topic. It says, "In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus." So it's like with Moses, all the Israelites, like countless times, you know, them turning their back and all the things, like, and just moseying around and complaining, and like they should have been giving thanks. And it's like, nope, here they were, just no, la-di-da, you know.
Yep.
Woe is me. And like, no, they should have been giving thanks, just like we should be giving thanks whenever we're in these crises. And it's, again, easier said than done, you know.
Yeah.
But
and think about it. Exodus is pretty early on in the early stages. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure, you know, a lot of those Israelites personally witnessed the parting of the Red Sea, had been through it, had watched the walls of the sea rise up above them, and they walk straight through it.
Yep.
And then you get to the other chapters in the Bible with the Israelites, and it's like, did you not see that? Like, what more proof would you need?
They just moan and groan.
And that he's going to do it again. Like, I mean...
But you know, but that's the important thing. Is like people are still that way. People have not changed since biblical times when it comes to, God can get you through so many things, and then when you get to the next bump in the road, it's like you just have amnesia. You've totally forgotten.
You forgot what happened the last time when you were in this crisis.
Yeah. So, I think sometimes, you know, it's like, you'll go through crisis, whether of your own free will, or sometimes maybe, I am trying to put you through something to give you pain to help you grow. Mm-hmm. And it's up to us the next time that we face that to go, okay, I'm going to show my growth here through this crisis. And instead of it being a 9 or a 10, this one's only going to be a 3 or 4 because I'm going to be able to handle it. I'm going to be able to take
what I learned.
What I've learned.
And apply it.
I've learned to trust the Lord more from what he's done in my life.
Yep.
And so when other things come up, I'm going to put him first.
Yep.
Before I start complaining to my friends, before I start complaining to my family, before I start cussing to myself, about whatever it is, it's like, no, you should be directly talking to the Lord.
Yes.
Shift our focus on Christ.
Yeah.
Crisis.
I mean, that's what we have to do. It has to be on autopilot. That's the way I look at it. It has to be, it's like you're riding a motorcycle and Jesus is in that funny cart with you.
With his robe just blowing in the wind.
Like you can't, American Express. Use your American Express card. Don't leave home without him.
Yeah.
That's the way it has to be. It has to be autopilot. And that doesn't mean people can hear me say that and go, oh, well, I guess that means you never get angry. That means you never get worried. Oh, that means you never, have a bad day. No, that is not what I'm saying.
No, not at all.
But
when you do have those bad days, you have him to lean on.
You do, yes. And you get wisdom out of it.
Yes.
You just do. You just learn that, I think it really means something when you show God your strength and what you've learned and how you've grown, and because then he knows, like, yeah, you're getting it. You have faith, you appreciate it, and you're giving the glory back to me. You're not, like I said, you're not calling your girlfriends up on the phone and telling them,
She hears it usually first.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might talk to him like, can you believe this? And then I go
It's like as you're dialing Dawn, all right, God, hear me out. I'm going to be talking to both of you now, okay?
This is what I'm going to say. Yeah, we'll put you on...
three-way phone call.
Yeah.
She grounds me pretty quick.
Yeah, and that's okay. Yeah, because in your case, you're going to the right person.
But
what
about all those ones that you don't, though.
Right. Oh, yeah. Right. But in your case,
yeah,
I think you can say like, okay, yeah, I know I'm going to vent to her, but at the end of this, she's the right. If I'm going to vent to anybody, on earth, you're.
Yep.
I think because of your wisdom and because of your faith, you know who to talk to.
Yeah. Like your default choice is Beth, but it's not Beth, Dawn. But, I almost feel like it is default because that's what you need, and that she does give you only good wisdom,
Yeah.
Like you're not going to someone else who's just going to spew it all over the place and
tell you what you
want to hear. Like, because that's a lot easier sometimes.
No,
but
she doesn't.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Sometimes she makes you stop and reevaluate it and we're gonna pray about this and
Yep.
Yeah, we had a guy at work that, he was just we would talk a little bit, and after Charlie Kirk was killed, he's like, I really need to get my family in church, and as a lot of people have been doing, but he was just very unhappy with his job, and some of it I could see he's probably justified in, some of it not. There's some things that I believe that he would do to kind of create his own problems.
Sure.
Right.
Because believe it or not,
but like I would just try to have a positive conversation with him, and he was just always threatening to quit. Just well, I went on vacation, and it was 3 days I was gone,
and he quit.
And my nephew Samuel, he went with us. Well, he works with me, and he gets a text. He's like, "Hey, so and so just quit," and I'm like. I'm thinking, I wasn't there to talk him from the ledge, but that's the thing. But
that's not on you.
No, it's not on me. But again, I'm going to guess that maybe, and I had heard like he had talked to some other people, and they said, well, if you're going to quit, just quit. If you feel like that's what you need to do.
Whereas you wouldn't have.
And just got him in that right mindset to where he's like, okay, I'm going to give him my keys and I'm walking out of here today. They got him revved up, going in the wrong direction. Instead of having somebody say, I realize you're not happy,
Yeah.
and you have every reason to feel that way, and you have all the right in the world to go find another job if you're not happy.
Mm-hmm.
But the last thing you want to do is just up and quit,
And be jobless.
because there are so many consequences to that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to get that next job and somebody sees that you just up and quit, if they call the company for a reference, they're like, well, you just
Yeah.
never came back the next day.
They're going to have questions. Yeah.
They're going to have questions about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got a family.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, you don't have a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's,
Yeah.
you know, what are you going to do? What's your answer to that? So a lot of times in crisis, people can make these very quick decisions, thinking and feeling and being led to make a decision that feels right in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure when he handed the keys in, it felt good to finally say, I've had enough. I'm not taking your...
Yeah, I'm sure it did, but
But
then you get in the truck and you're like, oh,
but
crap.
that's only going to, that's only going to last so long. As I said, the passion, the anger, all that, you cannot hang on to that. That is not going to carry you through a situation.
Nope.
You are going to come back down to reality and face what you've done. And a lot of times you're like, oh, yeah, felt good for a few seconds, but now what am I going to do? Unless you can, like, I think we said it last week, unless you could be like George Costanza and just walk back into work today like you didn't quit and hope everybody,
Didn't notice.
didn't take you seriously, going to have bad consequences.
Yep.
That kind of takes me to, maybe I'm not understanding this verse completely, but Proverbs, where am I at? 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. If we depend on our own understanding, we do things like that.
Yep.
Yeah, we're always on the wrong path.
You know, we'll make that
Because I think a
quick
lot of
decision
because it's
where we
based on
shouldn't.
emotion. I feel a lot of times. Yeah.
Yep. And it's very human. It's easy to do. And without the Lord, that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
We're going to, if you have him on autopilot, okay, you more often than not, you're going to counsel him before you do something. When you're out of relationship, then all you have to fall back on is all your human traits. And most of the time, let's face it, our human traits just don't get us through much.
Oh no.
No. It just doesn't. And maybe somebody say, well, we have the natural ability to be happy, to go to work, to labor. Yeah, we do. We do have those natural abilities. But I can personally say, like as I said, there's a lot of things. If I just went with who I am, I'd be like, there'd be a lot of stuff I just wouldn't do. I just wouldn't because I don't want to do it.
Yep.
Like if I just went on my own selfish, urges and what I want to do, it'd be like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't, why would I,
That'd be like me buying paper plates and not even having any other plates, but I know it's bad for the economy. Not the economy. For the world, for the earth, the environment. So I guess I'll just... And it's like, wow, silly me. I have a dishwasher. Put them in the dishwasher, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be like that. Just like... or.
Did you ever see what paper plates look like when you put them in a dishwasher?
Oh, did you do that?
No, but
Oh, no.
it wouldn't be a pretty sight.
No, I'm just saying, like, a
Roger's
normal
like, I'm
plate.
going to reuse these paper plates. Well, that wasn't a good idea.
Maybe styrofoam will do the trick.
I bet.
Well, that's worse
bet
yet.
you. I bet you there's people out there that wash paper plates.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of wipe them off and reuse them. There's got to be people out there.
Oh,
that
yeah.
just-
My grandmother used to hang her paper towels up to dry to reuse.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So,
Plastic silverware. Oh yeah.
yeah. But yeah, absolutely.
My best one when she would offer you a cup of tea, I'd say, "Got any new tea bags?"
Oh.
She believed in using them a good many a times. Because she grew up in the Depression.
That's what I was about to
Right.
say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they have a good excuse. We'll let those people slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about crisis, man.
Yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of things that we think about as a crisis, we have no idea.
Yeah.
No
No
I
idea.
can't, Can you imagine living through the Depression? If you were, Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, we think so many things are a crisis. So many things like, what am I going to do now?
Or even like
I
thinking.
feel so inconvenienced.
Yeah, like thinking about like my grandma, not the one you guys know, but my other one. I think she walked half mile to the school bus and then a half mile back. Like that was just their everyday thing. Like if you gave that to a kid now, oh my god,
Couple blocks.
I got to walk to the corner.
Yeah. Like, or I have to ride the bus. Like that's a crisis to them.
Yeah.
Just baffling.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And you don't want anybody to like you don't want your kids to go through anything like that.
Sure.
And you don't want anybody ever placed in one of those situations.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe they'll know the difference. But, but I've always said, and I look at kids, I'm like, adversity is not a bad word. Today, it's such a bad word. You say adversity, it's like, oh,
It builds character.
it does.
Yeah.
But, you put kids, you put people through anything nowadays. It's like, just how dare you?
Yep.
This isn't healthy. Mm-hmm. It's just like, no, you've got to have crisis in your life in order to be able to grow and handle things and have perspective and the ability to help others.
Yeah, and like to grow. I strongly think like it helps certain people grow their relationship with Christ because that's when you're leaning on him the most, and that's when you start to trust him because you're like, all right, God, I don't know what to do from here.
Yeah, or I'm tired
giving
of
it all
doing it
to
on
you,
my own.
Yeah.
I just can't do it on my own anymore. That's a big thing I hear out of a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people when they finally pray and shout out to the Lord that a lot of times they'll say, I can't do this on my own anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people just realize like, it's too much of a burden to bear without the Lord to lean on.
Yeah.
I've tried it my way a dozen different times and a dozen different ways, and it all comes back to the same.
I think the crisis
problem.
when my stepson was killed, Jarvie and I weren't married yet, was a big time. Well, it was a big time. He got saved, and I, dedicated my life back to the Lord. But I can remember it was December 30th, and I had a gas furnace, and I was freezing, and I wrapped a blanket around me and sat down on that register. So I was holding all that heat in and just crying out to him, God, help me.
Yep.
I don't know what to do to fix this. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he gave me the strength to be strong because Jarvie needed
For
me to
him.
be strong.
Right.
11 years prior to that, he'd buried his wife.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah, that's hard.
And then, then through everything and the people from the church in Port Washington that we didn't know those people, but Jarvie's, Tyler's aunt on his mom's side of the family went to that church, and Dawn, I think Dawn was going at that time too, down there. They all came to the funeral home and were really there and prayed with us, and that's what got us in church.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because, they didn't have to do that. They didn't know you, and
Not at all.
yep.
And Tyler hadn't been in that church. He went when he was little, but he hadn't been in there for years.
Now, how old was Tyler when his brother had passed?
13.
Yeah, so, then you got, you lost a brother, lost mom, and, Jarvie's like, God, you were in his life, but you're like, still kind of getting your feet wet. Yeah, and you're like, oh, how do I don't want to overstep, but I want to be there for both of them. And that's hard.
Yeah. And then and Jarvie drank a lot then. So that was his only coping mechanism. And I'm like, God, we got to do something here, and that come to a stop after he got saved. But it was one of those, when you say cry out, that's, I remember it. I remember it clearly. I can even tell you what blanket I had wrapped around me. But I couldn't fix it, and I didn't know how to fix it.
Yep.
And what, But you had to be the instrument that started the repair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And that's a good point. Is sometimes we're not supposed to be the ones that repair it. Now, yes, you're supposed to be an instrument in that,
Right.
but it's not all lean. It's not all the
Yeah, like you weren't asking to be the fixer. You just wanted to start something.
Yeah.
You just wanted to save him somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just
Make
want to
sure
be in
he
the
was there
band. You want to
tomorrow.
be the lead singer. You just
No.
want to be
Right.
in the band.
Yeah.
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 And God is the lead singer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so you always want to be an instrument in anything, but still at the end of the day, it still starts with Him. Like you said, you had to cry out to Him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to give it up to Him.
And I think at that point in life when Jarvie come to the conclusion, that's where his little saying comes from. If money can fix it, it's not a problem. Whether you have the
That's so
money or
true.
not,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is true.
yeah,
even if you don't have the money to fix it.
Right.
yeah. Because money in itself can just feel.
Yeah.
Money is a constant crisis.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It really is. Even when you're doing
honestly.
well, then you're thinking about, well, now what can we do? Because we got more money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then most human beings will be like, okay, well, then let's buy a
Now
new
let's go
car.
upgrade.
Let's remodel. And
Yeah.
before you know it, then you got another loan. You
There's
got
always
another
stressors with
and it creates another crisis that you stress about. So money never solves anything.
No.
But
I mean, yeah, it's not bad
You know
to
what I mean?
have it if used in the right way. But it's again, you should never lean on.
I mean,
Should never lean
a
on it.
death, a terminal illness, those are crises because it doesn't matter how much money you have.
Right.
Change
Yeah.
the
Right.
situation.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. And something like that generally takes all the money that you have, anything that you've saved.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
And
like
still
in our
doesn't fix
case,
it.
when my mom got sick, it was like my brother and my sister and I, we all had a small college fund started, thanks to my mom's brother and just trying to get us off on the right foot, and all that was gone. Because they had so many bills with the Cleveland Clinic and things like that, and then my mom, along with her brother, they owned a lot of land over by the bowling alley. That was gone because they had to sell it so we could keep paying the bills. The home we lived in, gone.
Yeah.
They couldn't keep up with the payments anymore, so they had to move into a small double wide on land that belonged to a family member, so that they could save money and so a sickness like that can destroy your whole world, everything that everything that you've planned on.
Yep.
It can do that, and the only thing you're going to have left
It's
just
trust
Christ.
in the Lord.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
That's all you're going to have.
Yep.
Because any earthly gain or property, money, anything like that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not gonna. That stuff's not gonna comfort you in a time like that. It just doesn't. So yeah, it gives you.
And for the people that are like, oh yeah, well, I'm too strong for that, and I'm never gonna give in because that's just give in to Jesus or give in to the Christian life because I'm mentally stronger than that and this and that. It's like, okay, I don't know why you have that attitude, because if I'm wrong, I'm in a box 6 feet under. But if I'm right,
Yeah, exactly.
if I am right, and like, what do you lose? Your self, like, I don't know, your self pride that you're not strong enough or something, like,
Perhaps, and
Your outward image to
yeah.
others.
But then once you do, turn over your life and realize, wow, this is what I've been missing out on. Like, well, thank God I turned it over. Like, then that
Exactly.
self pride's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
yeah, the older you get. No, I said I was fairly. After my mom got sick, I was a teenager when I bought my first Bible. And I'm reading it, and at that time I thought I understood it. But now that I'm 45, man, that's a completely different perspective of when it was when I first started reading it. And I assume that it will continue to be that way.
To
When
develop
I'm 60,
and-
I expect it to be
Yep.
even greater, a greater understanding.
Yeah.
And it's not, and it's not I guess it's hard to explain. It's hard not to define it as a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's to your point where people's like, oh, I'm too strong for that. I don't need the Lord in my life because
I don't.
I'm going to guess most of the time that's somebody who has not, I don't want to say been tested yet, but who has been lucky enough not to really experience anything that hard in their life that, that money couldn't solve.
Right.
Or, that their own physical body couldn't solve. But I think most people, you get far enough down the road, your loved ones are going to start passing away. Everything else that you have is going to pass away.
Yeah.
Through one experience or another. Whatever you think you have on this earth of great importance, it's going behind you. At some point, you're going to lose it.
Yep.
That's just the way it is. And there's only one thing that you're not going to lose, and that's your faith in God.
Yeah.
It's the only thing you can hold on to from start to finish.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can hold on to good memories, but I think even your memories after a while, you're going to start to forget.
Oh yeah.
You're going to start to forget.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for me, a lot of times, if I see something, it will trigger a memory that I perhaps had forgotten about that happened 20 years ago. But if that doesn't happen, I mean, you're gonna forget those things. So all you can hope to have is that faith in the Lord and that eternal life.
Yep.
I mean, because what's this? I mean, I will tell anybody, there is no way, shape, or form that if somebody offered me eternal life on this planet, in this world, that I would take it.
Oh, no.
I would not.
No way.
No.
I mean, honestly, even if it was back in I don't know, the roaring 20s or I don't just think of your favorite decade or something. Still, no.
Oh, yeah. Even if somebody said, well, yeah, you can go back to when you were 10.
Right. Didn't have a care in the world or anything.
You can start, if somebody said you can start over and you can be 10 again. And that's a great temptation to be like, oh, it'd be great to be 10 years old again.
But I'd want to know what I know now.
Yeah, right. But I would still be like, no thanks. Because everything that I've been through, whether through my own free will or how the Lord, the things he's, no, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is the race I'm running. You can't go back and, start over. No.
Yeah.
No. So it's like that kid, just, no, I'm going to start over.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Everybody hates that kid.
Yes.
It's like, no,
yes.
we're.
Just because you had a false start or something, no.
Yeah. So my shoelace wasn't tied.
All the excuses in the world. Yeah.
But, no, it just, so life is, I guess life, I don't want to say it's supposed to be hard, but I don't think there's anybody that's really escaped a hard life yet. Even, like I said, even if they've got fame, they've got money, they've got, life is still hard.
And it's always been. I mean, even who wrote a lot of the Psalms? David? There were a lot of hear my cries, it's always been hard for everyone,
Oh yeah, because I said, we talked about, David and King Solomon, and you think these are people that are in direct line with the genealogy of Jesus Christ. And you think, how
did they have hardships?
How does that? Well, no, but you're thinking shouldn't this family lineage be perfect?
Perfect.
So it gets to the Holy One.
Right.
Doesn't it have to be perfect? No, it doesn't. And you look at their lives, and the more you study their lives, you're like, I'm on the same footing with this great king.
Yep.
I've made the same mistakes that he's made. And he was chosen by God to fulfill.
To have.
And, and they could actually speak to God. Some of them actually heard, the voice of God. And they still, imagine that. You actually hear the voice of God. And then you still go out and do something that is against the will of God. That to me, that's hard to believe, but then again, it's not.
Yeah, it's kind of baffling, but then again, no, it's not.
Because I know sometimes I hear God talking to me and I don't do it, but I don't actually hear his voice.
Right.
I mean, you know, I haven't heard Morgan Freeman yet, but, but
Yeah.
you know, but there's no doubt. It's like, I know when God's talking to me.
Yeah.
And most of the time I go along. Yeah. Sometimes I don't go along.
Mm-hmm.
But again, imagine actually hearing the voice of God and saying, yeah, but let me do it my way.
Yep.
Plenty of people in this book have done it.
Oh yeah.
And yet still, God's like, yep, but there's still a plan. We still have to get to the end point. We still have to get to the crucifixion and the resurrection. And you're still the right person to use, even though you're not perfect.
Yep.
Even though you haven't faced every crisis with, just with no error whatsoever. You're still what I've called you to be.
Mm-hmm.
You still have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
So, and that's a big part of it. It's just, you have to understand that when you're in crisis, that it doesn't define you, but if handled correctly, your definition in the end will be, it will be made clear.
And it can feel like it could define you.
Mm-hmm. And it
Certain.
can. I mean, if you let it.
If you let
that's
it.
the thing.
Mm-hmm. But you can't let it.
Yeah. If you, like you said, if you want to do it on your own,
Yeah.
then maybe it will.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of people that, you hear about people that something will happen to them when they're young, and they'll spend the rest of their life in an apartment and never go outside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Never have a relationship with somebody. They'll live their whole life that way because that crisis just affected them so badly that they can never let it go. And it completely changes the direction of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Can Christ change that? Sure it can.
Yeah.
And I know there's people that have, experienced a lot of terrible things. When we had your son on, as we talked about, like, yeah, I can study history and war all I want to and think that I understand it.
Yeah.
Because I've read.
Yeah.
But there's some things that until you've actually done it, you cannot possibly understand.
Yep.
So there are people that have experienced really terrible things that I hope I never have to experience. But I still think that in any situation, God can heal it and God can lead that person in a new direction. But, it's all about that relationship.
I thought of your son the other day. My uncle passed away, and we had his service on Sunday afternoon, and he was 93, and he had served in the front lines of the Korean War. And my aunt talked about how he used to go hunting with her dad and my grandpa when he was young. And then when he went to war and when he came back, he never, ever picked up a gun to go hunting again, ever. And I thought, because your son had mentioned that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe there are more listening now. Hopefully your son's listening to this right now. I'm sure he is. But
Never know.
yeah. But I sent Roger a picture of my study Bible. I was in the book of Lamentations. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close enough.
But, and before every book, it'll kind of give you a summary. And I think it's just like 2 sentences. It says, for this book, it was based in about 586 BC. But it says, there are people in our world who have experienced total devastation as their cities or nations have been destroyed by wars, earthquakes, tsunamis, or hurricanes. Reading the book of Lamentations can give us a point of entry into those experiences. It can help us to face the deepest aspects of human existence. So it's like, again, it's been going on since day one, unfortunately.
Beginning of time.
Yep.
It's terrible, but
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, can we calculate the number of human beings that have lived on this earth?
No.
I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
And to me, when I try to think about that,
Yeah.
and you think, well, how? Because I can take, you can just say, well, how meaningful was that person's life?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that maybe there's human beings who have lived and died who people will never think of again. And think about how many millions of people have lived that nobody ever thinks about them ever again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you can get up to people like Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, you know, really, you know, people that we all know.
Yeah.
Jesus himself.
Mm-hmm.
And even those people, it's like how many people actually think about those people
Right.
every day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, just that's just I don't know. It's hard to fathom that there were a lot of people in this world that maybe never knew Jesus. Or, hey, let's say there's a lot of people that did know Jesus. And their stories, their challenges, their crisis are pretty much lost to history.
Mm-hmm.
But is it all important in the end to the
Kingdom.
It sure is.
Yep.
You know, and we'll see it at the end how, you know, all these lives,
Yes.
you know, in the book of life, we'll see it at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to blow our mind when we, you know, there'll probably be people that we thought were going to be there and they're not. And there might be people that we thought there ain't no way they're getting.
Yep.
It's going to be the opposite.
Yep.
And it just, I mean, how big is that book of life?
Right.
You know,
Right.
It'd probably just be a mind-blowing thing to actually,
Yeah.
you know, to see that because, there's just millions of people that have lived and died and believed in faith and just the same who never have given the Lord a thought.
You know who I think a lot of them could be? I think they could be Canadians. Like, I'm looking at that map and I'm like, my gosh, Canada is big.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
I mean, look at Russia,
Asia.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
But even just like since Canada's, you know, butt up against us, like, man.
Yeah.
No,
We haven't put any pins up in a while.
no, we haven't. Every now and then I'll think that we need to. And gosh, I couldn't tell you since last summer maybe was the last time.
Yeah, we probably need to.
Updated.
Yeah,
that
actually,
date.
I checked the other day and we are in over 300 cities. So that's kind of cool. What was it? 300 cities and how many countries was it?
Before that was like 11 countries.
Yeah. Countries, we are in 37.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Praise God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 305 cities. 80, you know, like you would think 100% of our listeners would be United States. 85%. So that means the rest of them are a different country. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Singapore, we've got 5% listeners. Canada, 2%. Philippines, 1%. But then like the rest of them, it says 0%, but there's still like 1 episode, 2, 3, but it's not enough to make it a percentage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Yep. And the only thing I would say as a caution is, you know, you can get really wrapped up in, you know, of course, you know, Turning Point USA, how many millions of people and how many, you know, like in comparison.
Yeah, yeah.
You think, well, what difference then am I making? Who's listening to us? But we're still hitting 300 cities, 37 countries.
Yeah. And like,
And that it's just as important.
like our first city is New Philly because we all, like a lot of our cell phones here, they have like a Philly zip code or, you know, something attached to it. But like our second city is Singapore. Third city is Greensburg, Pennsylvania. So, I mean, Greensburg, Pennsylvania, we've had 90 downloads from them. Singapore, we've had 100. You know, so you know for sure there's a couple people from those cities at least listening.
Yep.
Los Angeles, 42 downloads. Irwin, Pennsylvania, 42. Pittsburgh, 26. Cleveland, 49. Columbus, 50. It's just so you know we're out there.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just as important.
Yep. Yep.
And that's hard sometimes, you know, with social media. You think, like I said, who's listening to us? What difference are we making? You know, who's following us? But if there's only 10 people out there that are,
It's still 10 more than...
It's part of the plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Part of the plan.
Yeah.
So
It would be neat.
if God wants us to make us greater, he will.
Yep.
That's right.
That's the way I always look at it.
Yeah, for sure. It would be neat if we could hear from some of these listeners.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can always... I think they can send a text in if they're listening from Buzzsprout. Or, they can message us on Facebook, comment on Facebook, call us, email us, whatever, all the things. It would be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and you can always spend the money to boost
Sure.
your audience.
Yeah, but we're not doing that,
And we're not.
No.
Right. We're doing this clearly on just sitting here in this room every week.
Yep.
And just, say winging it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
But,
I mean, honestly, like if people would hear what we need to just stay on air one time whenever we're leaving, like, okay, so what's next week's subject?
Yeah,
Like that's exactly how it goes down.
Yep. But I am always so impressed with how everything ends up like coming together.
Yeah.
And if we're doing 2 episodes in one night, somehow they intersect. Somehow they become complete.
Yeah, like tonight.
And
yeah.
And it could have just been 2 I had an idea, Beth had an idea, you had an idea.
Yep.
And
yeah, well, this, tonight's topics, it was your idea and then my idea, and then you guys came in earlier and said one was going to be an Exodus for one, the other one was also going to be an Exodus for the other topic.
Yep.
So it's just neat.
Yep. So, yeah.
Well,
I've got Psalms 46:1. Maybe it'd be our closing verse.
Sure.
God is our refuge and strength, always ready to help in the time of trouble.
Yes. Yes, he is. Thank goodness.
Yes.
He's always there.
That's right. All you got to do is dial him up.
That's something a phone call away.
That's right.
Beth, is it your turn to pray?
It is.
Okay,
it is.
let me get you squared away here.
Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the opportunity to come together and just talk among each other and share your word, dear Lord. And we thank you, dear Father God, that you are always there for us, dear Father God. And we're so thankful that you still love us, even though sometimes we can be hard-headed and we don't always come to you first, that we try to fix our own problems. In the end, we know that we have to surrender them all to you because you're going to be the one that's going to get us through.
Yes.
And dear Father God, we ask that you just put a hedge of protection around us all as we travel home tonight, dear Father God, and be with us and bring us back until we are scheduled to meet again. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hey friends, Pastor Michael again. If you've enjoyed this podcast, you should consider joining us on Sunday mornings. Our address is 1943 North Water Street Extension in Yorksville. We'd love to have you join us for an in-person service.